What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and I'm here with another episode of Banter Battles, this time featuring a guest that I've wanted to have on for a little while, and that's Chef Husky. Thanks for joining me, man.
Hey man, good to see you.
So, we've done some stuff in the past. I was a guest on the Cook-Off Challenge, and speaking of the Cook-Off Challenge, one of the reasons why I really wanted to have you as a guest on this episode is because of the fact that you have the Cook-Off Challenge coming up on April 5th, which I will actually be a part of.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for you to be there. I'm excited for a lot of people to be there. We had about 28 people. We had a lot of responses. A lot of people wanted to be there, but weren't able to make it. But those who were able to show up, they're really excited. I'm really excited to have everyone here for this one big event. And we're all in that one creators Discord, and we're all just bantering, having a good time. Uh, I'm I'm excited. I'm excited for what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. There's a lot of creators in it that I've been watching for a little while now, so it's pretty surreal to get it all together. So thanks for organizing that, man. That's awesome. It's your vision. It's coming together.
Yeah, dude, it's so awesome to be in the last steps of it. I didn't expect to be talking to you, to be talking to Snipe the Bench, to Cool Trainer Pat. It's very surreal to me to have just joined in this scene back in October, and now I'm already here organizing events with these people I've been watching for years.
Yeah, Pat's a really cool dude. Me and him have actually done an episode of this together as well.
I saw
But
that.
all right, let me send the challenge request, and as we wait on that to go through, before we really get into the games and stuff like that, I just want to obviously give a shout out to the channel members for myself and you respectively. Thank you guys so much for that additional level of support. It does go a long way. It means a lot for everybody else who's interested in this kind of content. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to myself and Chef Husky as well. And be sure to let me know who else you'd like to see on this series as our next guest. It's not exclusive to large channels or anything like that. Anyone's welcome. So be sure to let me know who you want to see next. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into this game number one.
Yeah, yeah. You want me to go ahead and accept now?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So part of this series, for anyone who hasn't seen it before, is that we don't really know what each other are bringing. We're kind of just playing the game as is. So we really don't know what we're going to be. I was trying to adjust the settings and I hit the concede thing almost.
Oh, no.
I almost
I'll
gave
take
up
it.
immediately.
I'll
Um,
take.
you can choose whether to go first or not. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't know what each other are playing, so it's a little bit of a surprise for both of us. Something that's also really cool with that I've never done this kind of series with Journey Together, coming out like with a new set just having released. We are gonna mulligan 3 times. That is
Ooh. Ooh, Mama Swine. All right. Did you just make
not
this today?
ideal. Yes, I actually just put out the
Cool.
the video at the time of this recording.
I also
Um,
just made this deck this morning.
Nice. Yeah, I've been testing it all day at work, so we'll see how it goes. Opening hand isn't the strongest, but we'll see what we're able to make out of it.
Oh, you got the Garganical. I like it. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Ooh, Carmine off the bat with a full hand.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
No, that's rough.
This doesn't feel
Um,
good either.
if it helps, my hand isn't great. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
getting into it, something that you mentioned is that you just got into the scene in October. Um, but something that has kind of come to my mind, or like something that I wanted to talk to you about, is that in past videos you mentioned how you had joined, or this is kind of like your second run at like YouTube, and that you had done stuff in the past. So what made you like jump back into it?
Third actually. Yeah. So the first time I tried to join in the scene, I'm still big into Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Destiny player. I love that game. But good God, it's certainly one of the scenes of all time. Uh, Simply because I found that channels there kind of tend to cannibalize each other for views, and it's
Mm.
not a very welcoming place for new content creators. And so what I kind of found here, well, the second time I try to be just a generalist Pokemon YouTuber. I have a lot of shiny collection videos. None of those really popped off either. That got kind of discouraging first time around too. But I think more recently I've had a lot more success doing what I do now. Um, let's see. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that, I guess.
Rest in peace,
Um,
Pidgey.
Rest in peace, Pidgey.
You will be missed, my friend.
He's a good guy.
Um,
What was I gonna say?
put this in, I guess.
Yeah, so what got me back into it was that I I have been a fan of the Pokemon TCG for a little bit. I had been playing it in the background even while I was doing general Pokemon content.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I figured I had some pretty good ideas that I wanted to share, and so I tried to do it. I tried to just put together something that I thought would be pretty fun, and I started out with a Palafin video. That was, I came into it thinking I'm gonna be the world's best Palafin player, um, and then I dropped it pretty quickly.
Yeah, that card was a rough one to use, to be honest.
Yeah, to have as my baby. But that's okay because I found a new baby pretty shortly after. I became the godfather of Uxie spread.
Yeah, dude, that deck is very interesting.
I love it. It's so much fun. I became like a big spread player. Um, and that's like the first thing that really got my channel a bunch of views because I think I posted it when I was like under 100, and it launched me up to 300, and it kind of like let me fast track the difficult part of growing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's that process been since you mentioned, like, this is your kind of third time around, and so, like, what's that process been like in this time in comparison to like the last two? Because you mentioned that you kind of had that bit of discouragement when you were doing the shiny runs and not really seeing the viewership that you were hoping for.
What was the question one more time?
Oh, sorry. How would you kind of go about like discussing where you mentioned now that, like, the videos went well and like they kind of popped off now, but in comparison when you used to do this, when you were doing like Destiny videos and the shiny videos, you kind of mentioned that you weren't seeing the viewership, like that it was a little bit discouraging.
Yeah.
So how would you kind of compare this experience to like past ones?
It's so different. It's so different because like uh back then I feel like if you were a tiny YouTuber, no one really wanted to work with you. But now I was here sub 100. The first person that I met on the scene was Vanilla Magikarp, and immediately he wanted to work with me. And then I reached out to you pretty shortly after that, and immediately you wanted to work with me. And I'm like, people don't really care about your channel size
Mm-hmm.
in this community. And so that was very encouraging. It's like I can reach out to these people, I can work with them because we're having fun playing this game. So I do
Yeah,
appreciate that.
for sure. That's definitely something that I knew when I created this channel, that was something that I wanted to do a lot of. Just for having a general interest in it. Um, I care about the community aspect of the games a lot more than, I guess, like the game itself. So that's always been something kind of important to me. But it's awesome, the relationship that you have with Vanilla Magikarp has been great to see, as well. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that. I actually, looking back on it, I feel a little bad because I feel like a jerk without, you know like kind of on accident, because my first interaction with Vanilla Magikarp was that he had emailed me, um, like kind of talking and like mentioning that he had seen one of my videos and like he sent me one of his to watch and like kind of help him like give some feedback and stuff like that. And I felt so bad at the time because I was like, oh, I'd love to do that. And just being in college and stuff like that, I just like forgot to respond at first.
Mm.
Um and I felt really bad about it because, you know, after the fact, I'm still like, oh, I would, you know, I'd love to do this. But then I had this like paralysis of like, oh, I bet he thinks I'm a jerk because I didn't respond after like I said I would. So then I was like, I'm just gonna like, at this point, I feel bad. So I was like, he probably doesn't like me. I'm not gonna respond.
Oh man.
But now it's stupid because like, you know, we interact. We're in the same community Discord with you and all the other creators now. And I just think back to that. Like I was like, man, I was so dumb.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he also emailed me first, and it was also like a very, you know, a funny kind of interaction where like it was kind of ominous at first the way that he said it, because he
Mm-hmm.
was just like, "Hey, bud, like, you know, talk to me when you have time," or something like that, and I was just like, "Uh-oh, what did I do?" You know.
That's awesome.
I think it was like just after I had passed him in subs too.
Ah.
So I was like, oh no, like I'm hoping this is not like, you know, like the Destiny experience where it's like, oh no, he's mad that I passed him or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it wasn't that at all.
No, yeah,
Um,
he's a really great guy. For anybody watching this who is unaware, definitely go check out his channel. I'll leave a link to it down in the description.
yes,
Very cool guy. Does a
sub
lot
to
of
my
cool
boy.
content. Um,
So, but yeah, it's been like that with everybody I've interacted with. Like I have a couple other people that I talk to on a pretty regular basis now. Like you being one of them, Ginge TCG being one of them. Totodile Gang is one of my first YouTube buddies. Shifu Stu, great guy, almost too nice of a guy. Um, everybody's been great. Everybody's been great.
yeah, what's it called? I see that you're doing the podcast with him and Snipe coming up soon.
Yes, yes. We actually recorded. Was it last night? I think it was. Yeah. So we recorded last night, and then Snipe the bench forgot his. Or I guess he ran out of space in his computer and his file got corrupted, and so we
Ooh.
got to do it again.
That sucks. That's always the worst.
Yeah, I felt bad. I felt bad for Stu because this is the second time it's happened to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I did that to him once too.
Yeah,
But
I keep a backup hard drive where like all this kind of stuff goes on to, just so that like never happens. Like I'm so, because that happened to me a long time ago. Um,
yeah, that's why I'm recording my audio right now, just so that doesn't happen to you again.
dude, I'm an expert at failed recordings. I think I was talking to you or messaged you about it. Um, or no, you were there live. I think when on stream I was streaming muted.
Were you?
Yeah, I think you were there. I don't remember who was there. Um, but
I
yeah,
don't
I was
remember.
literally streaming muted because I didn't even know my mic was muted, and I had just finished recording a video, and I was like, awesome, you know, I'll edit that later. Let me just start the stream, and I started streaming, and for like 10-15 minutes I was just muted until somebody in chat was like, hey, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me like twice already.
Um, and I went back and I was like in real time, I unmute myself and I had the realization of like, oh my god, everything I just recorded is probably muted too. So I have to re-record that entire video. I was so distraught. That's probably somewhere off in a VOD. I should clip that just for like a random funny highlight.
Yeah, I took a highlight of my stream from yesterday where I was testing out all these new Journey Together decks, and I was trying to get Lilligant to work. I think I mentioned this to you because
Mm-hmm.
I was like trying to get to that Torterra video before you did. Uh,
It's in the
but
pipeline.
yeah, you can have it. You can have it. I don't want it anymore. Like I had a crash out on live stream because I could not get Lilligant to work. We tried it in Torterra, tried it in like a Budu beefy box. Uh, it was terrible. I tried it in a couple of different things, and Lilligant is not good. Um, yeah, I was crashing out on stream.
Yeah, it's one man's trash is another man's treasure. So I'll
I
try
hope
to
you
do
can.
something with it. It's
I
funny.
hope you can.
Maybe that'll be the revival of my Trash is Treasure series, which was a dumb series I used to do when I kind of around when I started the channel. I would just take like horrible cards and try to make like the best deck I possibly could out of them and try to get some wins. And it normally never went super well because the cards were abysmal. But it was a lot of fun. I should bring that back at some point.
Looking was actually one of my picks for the wheel, so I'm kind of hoping it gets picked so that somebody can crack the code on that card because I cannot.
All right, that was game one. I'll issue the challenge. We'll get into game two. I'm gonna change the deck. It is a fire weakness based deck.
Oh, okay, they're different deck. Gotcha.
You can keep the same deck if you like. It doesn't really matter. I'm just changing decks.
No, it's all good. I'll do this one.
Though literally weakness won't matter with this deck because anything that hits it is gonna kill it regardless.
Oh, okay.
So it makes no real difference.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm gonna send the match request. But yeah, what I was gonna say, like, what would you say is the, if you could offer like any form of recommendation or advice to either like newer channels or like kind of upstarting channels, like what do you think that would be?
Honestly, reaching out and being active in the community is probably the reason why I'm where I'm at right now. Like, I was not expecting, so I just hit 800 yesterday, and I was not
to cut you
expecting
off
to
real
be.
quick, but do you want to go first or second?
Oh, second.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah, so being active in the community was actually a huge step, right? 'Cause, like, I've been active in the community since I was under a different screen name. I think at the time I was just like Red Husky or something like that. And I've been around, but when I started YouTube, that's when I really started, talking to people, being active, and like I've had an absolute great time just doing content with other people. Like I like doing my solo content. The deck videos is like half of my channel, and the other half is just like trying out different things. And every time I've worked with somebody, it's always been fun. Oh, Excel Gore, I like it.
Yeah, I was inspired by you.
By me?
Yeah, well, you were just playing some poison, so I figured I'll give it a try.
Okay, gotcha. Excel Gore poison package, hit and run. I like it.
Yeah, the only problem is that your your spread is gonna kind of eat me alive.
Possibly.
But we'll see. We'll see if I can get the damage down first. It'll be a race to the finish.
This is my post-rotation Irida-less version.
Oh yeah, you don't have Irida anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's rough.
Hurts, man. Feels bad.
Feels bad, man.
What
was I gonna say? One of the other things too, that I've been meaning to ask you about, because like you mentioned that you had like a past moniker and stuff like that. What kind of made you decide to go with the kind of the chef aesthetic?
I cook. I cook in real life. I'm not like a professional chef or nothing like that, but I love cooking. It's like built into my blood as a Peruvian man. But people like my friends have just kind of come to know me as the chef. One of my friends, so like 3 different friends bought me an apron for my birthday this year.
Oh,
like that's how ingrained it is. Yeah, that's how ingrained it is into my identity. I'm the guy who cooks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh, good pull. I'll be able to retreat that, bring that in.
Very nice.
Drop some powder.
Do love me that powder.
But yeah, I'm always interested in stuff like that, like seeing where people. Oh right, I thought I ended my turn. I'm always interested to like see where people got their names from, and also like if there's any relevance to the name to kind of like what they actually do.
I've been meaning to ask you that too. What is Professor Gnome?
Yeah, so I can give the origin to that. I'm sure people that have watched my channel enough have heard it plenty of times, but for everybody else, and for even the people that watch me, there's probably some that still haven't heard it. The way that I got the Professor Gnome kind of title was that... Ooh, this is doing a lot very quickly. Gonna have to deal with those. I have to think now. This is about to do a lot of damage. Let me see. I think this is more efficient to deal with this now. Maybe? I don't know.
That might be the play. I think so.
Whatever, we'll find out. I don't have an energy, I'm an idiot.
Oh no.
Well. Good play.
The throw.
I'm really good at this game, and I'm a professional YouTuber, I promise. But anyway, the way that I got the title or the username or whatever was that a long time ago when Left 4 Dead 2 was popular with the kids, and I was a kid,
I was wondering that if it had to do with that gnome from the freaking Dark Carnival.
Yes, actually it does. So, as you know, there was the Dark Carnival achievement, Garden Gnome, for carrying the Noam Chomsky statue from the beginning of Dark Carnival all the way to the end. I had gotten that achievement on the hardest difficulty in the game, doing it solo. And so for a long time, my username, I had changed it and it was just Noam Chomsky, because of the achievement. But then after the fact, it became this thing where everybody kept asking me to help them get the achievement. I kind of became like the dude who was just known for doing that achievement. And so like I was getting messages like every day, either on Xbox Live or from friends or people that just knew me, whatever, and like other achievement hunters trying to get the achievement. So it just became this thing that I got stuck with in a weird way, of everyone just being like, oh dude, can you help me get this, can you do that, whatever. And so it just kind of adapted from that title to being Professor Gnome, because I was just literally the guy for the achievement.
That's so cool, actually. So you play Left 4 Dead then?
Yeah, I played a ton of it when I was younger.
Me and my friends still play that like at least twice a week. We should play it sometime.
Dude, I'm so down. That would be a ton of fun.
Are you good?
Haven't touched it in a very long time, but I'm sure I can play the game.
I'm sure you're fine. I hear you're better than my friends anyway.
But yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll get like a Winter Soldier moment when I get back in the game. I'll be like, I know this, and just snap back to it. All right, I gotta speed this up. I'm getting beat up here. I don't actually know if I play anything to pick up the squawk or anything like that.
You don't have to worry about that. All right.
All right. Well. Ooh, the Maractus is interesting. I thought this card was going to be bad, but it's definitely interesting.
I like that it shuts down Latias.
Yeah, the fact that it's just like a random no retreat mon is very good. Alright, let's see. Is there an outcome that's playable here? I don't think so. I think I lose. Because even if I poison this, I don't live, and you only need one prize card.
I think I'm in a pretty good spot.
But let's see what we get. It didn't matter.
The Carmine.
Yeah. We're gonna pass, and that's gonna be the end of this round. Because in comes the shrouds. We did knock out the Maractus though, so we didn't go down empty-handed.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I always think it's interesting to like know where people's names came from, and now I'm in a weird kind of position with the name that it's kind of in a weird way become true. I'm obviously not a professor in real life, but I run like therapy groups and do individual counseling for people with substance abuse disorders.
Do you really?
Yeah. And
Nice.
and so like because of that, in a weird way, the professor moniker kind of works because I run these groups and I'm educating and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of still fits.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's a really cool profession to have.
Yeah, we do what we can. All right, game number 3. Now we get to go with the interesting. I talked to you about it a little bit. The interesting Iono Raging Bolt build.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's see it.
Yeah. Well, we're into game 3. It's 1-1. Gotta close it out with something interesting.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, I think the concept of the creators tournament that you've put together is really really cool.
Thank you. It's a format that I've been wanting to try for a while because, so like one of my big philosophies with my channel is that anyone can pilot Dragapult, anyone can pilot Charizard, anyone can pilot any of those big meta decks. I could do it if I wanted to, but I don't because for me the fun part of card games is the deck building. I want it to be mine. If I were to make Dragapult right now, if I were to make Charizard, it would just be copying somebody else's 60. And if I'm not copying that somebody else's 60, it's not optimal, right? It's just like I'm making it mine, but at the cost of it being good. It's an entirely different skill to just build it and refine it as you go and just make it your thing. Like this Uxie list is mine. This next one is also mine. This burn package, it's mine. Like I did it myself. I didn't look at anybody's video to get it. I did it myself, right? And if it sucks, it's because of me. If it's good, it's because of me. And so that's my big philosophy going into my channel. And so every cook-off, I want it to be about the deck building, as well as the piloting, right? Because you have to kind of do both in order to make it work. But the deck building is the most important part, at least in my channel, and that's what I wanted to highlight with these cook-offs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the cook-offs in general are really, really interesting, and they've been a lot of fun to watch. I'm very excited to see, like future games and like see who else you have on and how that goes. But yeah, I think it's a very interesting format, and I do agree that the skill of deck building is very, very important. And I think it's something that kind of goes understated a little bit because, at least to use another game that I understand, right? Like, I come from a Yu-Gi-Oh background. And so in Yu-Gi-Oh, like, net decking is unbelievably common, right? It's kind of just something that almost everyone does. And so there's not really a lot of creativity in the game as a whole. Obviously it still exists, but it's much less frequent, I would say. And so it's always really interesting to like see people like yourself like being able to take the time, really build things and establish stuff, and kind of teach people how to do it, because I think that also gets kind of ignored too often.
What a squawk.
Yeah. Wanted to, get some things set up.
Dropped a prime catcher and a boss and 2 Sadas. Good lord.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
Not the things I necessarily would have wanted, but it's what I got.
Yeesh.
So we'll go ahead and grab ourselves.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was
One
just
more
kind
of
of
these.
stunned by that.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Don't worry. Hey, I got a plan. Got a plan. But yeah, and I think being able to teach people those list building concepts and like fundamentals is really, really important. Because I think they get lost a lot of the time. It's why me and Control Players Unite started the Office Hours series to kind of help people learn those deck building fundamentals. Because, yes, is it very important to learn how to sequence and do all these kind of important playing, or like player mechanics and stuff like that? Is like, yes. But if you don't understand why a card is in your deck, then you're probably not going to make it very far regardless.
That's fair.
And so I really admire like the work that you do, because I think it's very important, and also is something that I think doesn't get shown to the level that I kind of feel like it should. All right.
I appreciate that.
So,
Yeah, that is very important to me to highlight both parts of the game, right? Because if some YouTubers will just show you the meta decks, and I got one of my first comments that I got was, this guy Chef Husky doesn't post decks that are relevant to the meta, and the way I see it is, well, good. I don't want to show decks that are relevant to the meta. I want to show decks that are fun, interesting. I don't want to, if I just did Charizard, Dragapult, what's new with Dragapult? We're changing one card for one new card that Azul used in his last matchup, and it's like, okay, but like, that's not interesting to me,
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely can agree with that to an extent. I try to, for me on like my channel, I try to cover meta decks when, if I find them interesting. Like there's certain decks I just won't play, even if they're either like meta or non-meta, just because I'm like, I don't like. A great example for this is like Lost Zone. I really think the deck is like on paper cool, but I have like no fun playing it, so I just never did. I think I covered it once on the channel and like even talked about like, this kind of sucks, like I'm probably never gonna do this again. Or like Snorlax is my favorite Pokemon in the entire game, but I don't have fun playing Snorlax stall. Shout out to all the people who did. Love what you love, but it just wasn't for me. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna cover this one time, and we're never gonna see me play this again.
I can see that.
And
yeah, people who love Snorlax stall, more power to you, but I'm happy to see it go.
yeah, I think the meta is gonna be in a very interesting spot going forward, specifically because of the fact that canceling Cologne is gone, but like Mimikyu and all this kind of stuff still exists. So like you have to just kind of account for it in a way that I think we probably haven't seen in a while. But yeah, this is the system. This is why this deck works. So you can keep looping this pretty much like indefinitely. Like you just throw electric energies.
I don't know.
And so like you can get around Badoo and like all this other stuff, because like you don't really end up having to care.
I see. Okay.
Because you're just gonna like flash draw and be chilling anyway, and then you can go grab yourself electric energies, keep reapplying them. So like I can get rid of the one electric energy, and now on the next turn I'll still have 2 in the discard pile. I can use the stadium, pick them back up, keep using the belly bolt.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then when the fighting energies go to the discard pile, you can go and then you use like Vitality, throw the fighting energies back on. Or like you just Night Stretcher them or whatever you want to do. And then the Kilowattrels just function as like a repeatable draw engine. I think this deck could be like actually good. Like I was a big hater of Belly Bolt and like the whole Iono deck list, but I was like, wait a minute. This little, like, belly bolt into Kilowattrel engine might be something.
We might have something here.
There's an Arvin. Interesting. Oh, there's the rare candy coming out. Are we going to see our first Chandelure? We are.
Yes, sir. Finally.
I have a pretty big hand, too. This could do some damage. Ooh, good play. I still live, though. Good for me. Alright.
I have no idea how many Levincias you played, but I'm hoping I kind of thinned it out a little bit.
It's a great question. I don't know how many I play either, so I'm about to go and find out. Let's see. Well, I'm out of them.
Let's go.
So the question now is, what can I do? Oh, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. I don't even have to care about this. I have Belly Bolt. I'm playing a non-EX card right now.
Oh, the Kilowattrel?
Yeah. Why am I sitting here like shocked? Oh, wait. Oops. Didn't mean to attach to that. Hope that doesn't bite me back later. I mean, I guess I'm going to get one shot. Oh, I can keep my hand thin. How do I switch this out? There's Vitality. I can't play it on this turn, though. I can get rid of this and this. We'll grab ourselves one more kilowatt. Play that down. Pass turn. Ooh, wait. Never mind. I thought I could attach one more energy for turn, but I can't.
Ooh, this looks... Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. Hey, yo, never punished.
Nice.
Good enough.
Promise that the Kilowattrel does no damage.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of rough.
I kind of forgot that you played the zone, or I played differently.
Oh. Wasn't that like an important part on the past year turn?
Yeah.
All good. I think your rough start there with the burst roar was kind of
Nah, it's all good.
a problem.
What did I even have to get rid of when I started?
You got rid of like two sides, a pram catcher, and a boss.
None of that would really help me now, though, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. True.
I think the main thing that we want to do is go... We just want to start, like, burning all this extra stuff from our hand. We'll get some damage down onto this. It'd be nice if this did more damage. 70 is definitely not ideal.
Not ideal. Alright, let's see what we can do with this.
I kind of completely forgot Neutralization Zone was a card.
I find that the value of it goes way up without Lost Vacuum and without Worker in format.
I can see that. I feel like I never use it because of how common, like, Area Zero is and, like, all that kind of stuff. But if you can, like, hold on to it and play around, like, it's very, very powerful. Especially now, too. Because, like you said, no, like, you... Wait, Dunsparce? Oh, to Dunsparce. It's 130? Oh, 140.
Oh, you failed the quiz.
I was like, I love that I was hovering 140, but I second guessed myself.
So this is what I referred to as my gaslighting deck. Um, I do this to trick people into thinking that they want more cards. So sometimes I will give them like a card that I already have in play, something that's very easy. They take 4 cards, and then that gives me an extra 120 damage,
Mm-hmm.
and I can just knock out whatever they have. But if they choose not to, I can just take the 4 cards myself, and I have 4 more cards to work with, which is also pretty nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It was part of the my monthly tournaments, the where time was the featured card, and so that's the only reason why it's still in here. It's just like as an homage to the original tournament. Which, if any of your viewers want to join for my monthly tournaments, I do them. I do them once a month. I have one coming up tomorrow. A little too late for this one. It's based around Toxtricity with Loud Mix.
Hmm.
But next month we have not decided what we're doing yet. But as a little secret, it's gonna be that Lilligant that I don't know how to work with. So if one of y'all can crack the code on Lilligant, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with these, you know. So if any of your audience feels like they can crack the code on Lilligant, wants to join my Discord, join my tournaments, my Discord is linked in my channel profile at Chef Husky.
Yeah, I'll definitely put some notice out because there's a lot of people, in not only just like the community but also like in the community Discord and stuff like that that are very interesting list builders. Um, there's definitely some people I will let them know. So all right. Speaking of that, do you have a card in your like community that just seems to be like the card everyone's building around?
Frostless.
Frostlass? Dude, mine is like Toad Scroll. I feel like every other couple weeks that I check the community Discord and like see what lists people are building and working on, it's like Toad Scroll's popping up.
That's pretty fun.
It's like I'm like, why does everybody love this card so much? Like it's
Where's the rest of my
cool.
stuff?
I'm gonna deck out.
That's what I was trying to make you do, but I can't not find my last Chandelier to make you deck out this turn.
Like wasn't even paying attention to my deck.
Do I even have? Oh, I don't even have a rare candy. Okay, good to know.
You'll be fine. Dude, the Dunsparce EX is so fun.
Yeah, dude, that was like the first thing I looked at when I was building this for post rotation. I was like, yeah. The Dunsparce EX is gonna be perfect against Raging Bolt.
I think the Dunsparce EX is such an interesting card too because it beats all the walls.
Yeah, the Destructive Drill.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
like it's just such an interesting like, oh yeah, this exists.
Because all my attackers are, oh nice.
It doesn't matter. I'm just delaying the inevitable. I literally don't have any other cards left.
Keeping these banter battles going.
Yeah,
I
of
like
course.
it.
Hey, we make the place for the content around here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah. Well, sorry. What were you saying?
I don't know, what was I saying?
We were just talking about the Dunsparce, and I think it's such an interesting card.
Oh yeah. No, because people were saying how this deck gets bodied by Cornerstone,
Mm.
and yeah, the Dunsparce EX is kind of an answer to that. Because all my attackers have abilities. So
Yeah.
I certainly see the criticism there.
I think it's so hard to like talking about the kind of where the meta is heading. It's just like being prepared for that like wall box deck of like Farigarath, Cornerstone, Mimikyu, Milotic is just like, what are we doing here, man? Like there's gotta like knowing that your deck just has to be prepped for that at all times is so annoying.
Oh, dang.
It would have been really funny if somehow my watch roll lived. Like the thing to stand up to it all.
Oh, there's my candy. Good God. All right. Yeah, the Lucian was actually a recommendation by Trust Your Pilot.
Really?
Happened to match against him the first time I built this. I was on the train on my way home. I had, just pressed that button to hop on the ladder, and then who do I see first? Thruster Pilot. And I'm like, nah, that can't be the actual Thruster Pilot. And then I go on his stream, and sure enough, it's him. After the fact, he's like, hey, you should really consider using Lucian instead of Iono. And I'm like, ah, yeah, yeah, that could work.
Yeah, that actually is a really interesting change. But yeah, there's a lot of people in this community that are really really cool and like really interesting. Trust Your Pilot being one of them. I've been watching his content for a long time, like before I even decided to make a channel.
Yeah,
So
me too.
that's definitely really cool. Shout out, well, hey, while we're doing it, shout out to Cool Trainer Pat too. Cool dude. It's in the title, but it is true. To Don Spars, my son.
I just want to get a hit off of him.
It's okay. I actually can't KO him if I wanted to because I'm out of energy.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm out of literally everything.
Dang.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is when this deck decks out of Sarah Lidge, because they're always so close to decking themselves out at all times.
Oh, true. I feel like this deck against Raging Bolt in general would be like pretty good because like same thing. Like if you have the traditional Raging Bolt build where like you're just going off like Ogre Pawns over and over, I feel like that would be really strong.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was okay against Raging Bolt before, because you really only need what 8 cards in the opponent's hand to take out a Bolt. 10 if you have the Ancient Capsule or Bravery Charm, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, they do like to have a lot of cards in their hand.
I'm trying to look at this deck and see if there's anything I would edit. But anyway, that's for another time. I'll edit that another day. But yeah, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for beating me. Now we're 1-1. Technically, I won the cook-off. You won the banter battle. So we'll have to find a way to settle this.
We should. We could settle it on Left 4 Dead. My team versus your team.
Well, I have no team, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hit you up for some Left 4 Dead sometime.
Yeah, dude. We have a lot of stuff we got to play. Left 4 Dead, we definitely got to do some played up with the boys.
Dude, I got Vanilla Magikarp to set up you know what a multi-world randomizer is?
You talked to me about it a little bit before, but I'm not super familiar with them.
It's so difficult to explain, but imagine, right? You have about 40 different games that you could choose from. Like there's a list of them on archipelago.gg. 40 different games. I could come in with something like Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. You could come in with something like StarCraft or Pokemon Emerald or Sonic Adventure 2 or just like name it. There's a whole bunch of games on there, and we connect both games to a server. And what it does is it shuffles those items, like my key items and your key items. So, like for example, your HM Surf could be in my in one of my chests in Ocarina of Time, or my Kokiri sword could be your if you catch Rayquaza or something like that in Pokemon Emerald. And when you catch Pokemon or catch Rayquaza, it just sends me my sword. And we kind of have to like work together to finish both games through the items that you can find in your game.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, like he was not sold on the idea, but then as soon as we started playing it, he's like, okay, actually, this is kind of awesome.
What games are you guys doing?
We were both doing Pokemon Emerald.
Oh,
just because
okay.
we're Poketubers, but you don't have to necessarily.
No, that's really cool. We should do like a generations thing. Like one person plays through like Fire Red, one person does like Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
I think the only ones they have are Red and Emerald on there.
Ah, I was gonna
They're on
say
the Pokemon.
if they had them, like doing a generations thing would be like really interesting.
Yeah, but there's like no limit to the amount of games that you can have connected to the server. So if we can get like a bunch of our creator friends or a bunch of like maybe your community wants to do it, we could have like a huge server. The only barrier to entry is that it's kind of hard to set up.
Yeah, I imagine. It sounds like a lot of work, but it would be worth it.
Yeah, you only got to set it up once, and then after that, it's pretty easy.
But yeah, that's super cool. Definitely something to explore. But thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I had a great time.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. We'll definitely have to do something like it again. I'm very excited for some plate up and all that kind of other stuff. Doing that with the
Yeah,
boys is going to be very exciting.
we need to break this tie.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you everybody for watching. Hope you all had a good time and enjoyed it. I know that I did. Learned a lot and had a lot of fun. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Tune in for that creators cook-off.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody, go ahead and plug the cook-off. Go ahead and plug it.
I will plug the cook-off. All right, like we got a bunch of creators that are gonna be deck building, and if you don't watch me, if you don't watch Ginge, we are gonna be shoutcasting it. But if you don't watch us, watch your favorite creator. Watch Professor Gnome. Watch Snipe the Bench. Watch any one of our 28 creators. I'm sure the smallest ones will want it the most. They'll want the most help. And everyone is allowed to use their stream. You can go live if you want and have your audience help you build. Totally legal. Whatever you want to do, just help them out. Just watch. Just find your next favorite creator.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's going to be very, very exciting. I've already been doing a little bit of some test building and some idea crafting. I had an idea. Yeah. I had an idea, didn't really work out. I thought it'd be funny to try to use the what is it called? The pepper thing.
Scoville.
Yeah, Skull Villain, because it hits for weakness.
Oh, nice.
Oh
yeah, it does, huh?
I thought that'd be pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny.
But I couldn't. The problem is that you have to run fire energy, and the one that does. So there's two that hit for weakness. There's the one that you can use like reversal energy with, but it doesn't do enough damage. Even for weakness, it would only do 220.
Yeah.
But then there's the Skull Villain EX, which is fire, which would do enough, but it only works if you already have damage counters. So it's like too much work to make it function to do what I actually want it to do.
Well, on the bright side, Meowscarada takes double colorless, so like you don't necessarily need to run grass energy unless it's for the express purpose of using that bouquet magic. So I mean, it could work.
Yeah, maybe I just run straight fire and double. Oh wait, double colorless isn't in the format.
Right. Yeah, but you just load it up with fire energy, it should be fine.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't need the grass, I guess. How would I make the Skull Villain? Ooh, all right, hold on. Maybe we'll cook something up. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I'm giving the same kind of feedback to anyone who asks for advice. So like, all good.
But because I just think it'd be really dumb. Like it's just like everybody's playing Masquerada, and I'm like, I brought Skull Villain.
Dude, some of the lists that I've seen already, some of them cooked. I'll give them that. Some of them came up with a really cool. Like one of them came up with a really cool cat theme.
Oh really?
I thought was pretty awesome. And then somebody else kind of pissed me off with their pick, but I'm not gonna get into that because I don't want to spoil it.
I'm trying to think of like other stuff that I could, like how I'm gonna plan this. Let me see. Do I still have my build? All right, we're getting off topic.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
I could talk for hours if you like.
I know, I get it, dude. Trust me, I'm in the same boat. I'm like sitting here looking at my list now. But all right. Thank you guys all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out Chef Husky's channel. It'll be linked down in the description. It's a really, really awesome channel, so I highly recommend checking it out. Go and check out his Yuxi spread. I'm sure he'll be doing one post-rotation video for that. Definitely go check that out. It's a very, very cool list. Probably one of the more interesting lists I've seen in a while, so definitely check out that in the Lantern list for sure. But yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.